Because we haven't been with each other for long. We haven't been with each other so long. It's terrible.
I know. It's so awesome to be here with you, Bobbi. So,
Be here with
and with everybody else who's joining us too. So welcome, everyone.
everyone.
I'm Erin Lee of heavenlymessenger.com, and this is my beautiful friend, Miss Bobbi Rowntree, Born Media. And we're here today for our Sunday Oracle chats. We were just talking, we have an idea of some of the things that we'd like to talk about today. Mm-hmm. And we also recognize that often our Orkellians come in and they say, hey, let's talk about this too. And we're like, sure, let's talk about that as well. So
we're going to try to have a topic.
Yeah. Goal. Exactly. And you summed it up beautifully, Bobbi. Yeah, you did. We were talking about dating, love, and staying in love. And I liked that one a lot.
Finding love, knowing you're in love, and staying in love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are no romantic movies, rom-coms about staying in love, about keeping your marriage going.
That's so true. It just kind of it ends at happily ever after, and there isn't a lot of conversation about all of the energy and the work that once you found your partner that goes into maintaining your partnership and relationship.
Yeah, like the wedding is like
yeah, because that's where the happily ever after starts, right? Like you get down the aisle and you're there.
The debt, the family dynamic, that's where all of that starts. In my belief, I think everyone should elope.
Yeah.
Pomp, forget the circle. I think that's one of the reasons people get married too.
Have a party.
Wear a snazzy white dress.
Absolutely. Or a dress of another color, because I'm starting to see that more and more as, we're less virginal getting married.
And certain cultures, the women wear red. Really? And I wore a red dress because it just looks better with my coloring. Some of us look half dead when we're wearing white. Oh, you should see me in yellow. Oh,
absolutely. I'm with you 100%. I definitely wear darker colors myself.
I'm sorry. There was a cat fight.
So that brings us back to dating.
I'm sorry. I love my cat.
And if you need to go break something up, we totally understand.
Well, I only heard the one. Wow. So
good.
Okay. But if I hear more, that is where I just ran to. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go. I'll hold down the fort.
Okay. But so far so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, should we take a moment to say hello to everybody who's joined us?
People are saying hello to us, so we should say hello back to them.
Sure. Absolutely. You want to take the floor?
Oh, certainly. Okie dokie. Hello, Cassandra. Hello, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
I couldn't open the thing you sent me. Hello, Ruth. Will our marriage work out? Sorry. Pat just wrote, I didn't have a fancy wedding. Will our marriage work out? I think she and her husband have been married since the beginning of time. We'll see. So far, so good, right, Pat? Hello, Amanda. Hello, Tracy. Hello, Cassandra
again. Pardon me. You guys, I'm just on the tail end of a cold, so if I start coughing, I will be after my water and my cough drops, so bear with me.
We will bear with you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think actually maybe a wedding is a good place to start our talk and our conversation, kind of in the middle. Like usually you start with dating and getting to know somebody, but let's start in the middle. Why not?
Okay, how do you know when you know?
Ooh, that's a really great question, because I know that I have experienced love in partnership and relationship. I've loved a partner, but I don't know that I've ever been in love with a partner. So you might be a better person to ask this question.
Oh, yeah, because I've been married 2 times. Well, I am married the 2nd time.
Yeah. Present and past.
Yes. Yeah.
So what was it for you that said, hey, I know that I'm in love and I want to be with this person?
Okie dokie. With my first husband, it was actually a feeling in my gut. And that's what I had followed my entire life as a kid and such. And then when that marriage found its expiry date, and I was looking for someone new when I met my now husband.
Mm-hmm.
In my chest, like nothing I'd ever felt before.
Interesting.
And I remember actually messaging another psychic, telling her what I felt.
Yeah.
And again, this is a psychic who has been married to her husband since the beginning of time.
Uh-huh.
Early 20s.
Yep.
I remember because she was our niece's babysitter. Anyway, we're all kind of related. Anyway, she said that feeling in her chest is what her husband gave her. And I said, I've never felt that before. And she said, yeah, that's a different kind of love. So I think you can feel it in your body.
Mm-hmm. Well, that totally makes sense. And, one of my intentions coming into this was like, what is love like on a spiritual level, like from dating, getting to know somebody, to marriage, to all the things that come up with it. Like, let's approach it from that spiritual perspective. So I love that we're talking about that physical experience, that energetic experience that we have, because that's like one of our intuitive messages.
Okay, question for you, young lady.
Yeah.
When you say that you have loved a partner, but you're not sure that you've been in love, how did you know that you loved them?
That's a really great question. For me, there was a calmness, a sense of peace, and a sense of like wanting to be with them, to spend time with them. I think a lot of it had to do with also understanding their faults. I mean, we all have things that are challenges, right? Nobody is perfect. And so seeing their imperfections and loving them and caring for them anyway, and beyond anyway, but seeing those as actually things that I loved about them, even though they drove me a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Everything you say reminds me of 1 Corinthians. Have you ever?
No, I haven't.
Love is blind, love is not judgment, love is blah, blah, blah. I used to actually have it because my cousin, when he got married, they gave a scroll to everyone.
Cool.
He is divorced now.
Okay. So actually that takes me to a new level. Like maybe that's like the first level. And what you're talking about is like the next level. Like love is blind. Maybe that's part of it. But maybe it's more than that.
Love goggles. I used to know someone who used to talk about love goggles. You got your love goggles on. Seeing the bad things, you're only seeing the good things, but is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Should we always be looking for the bad things within other human beings? Should we always be on defense?
I think that's a really great thing to ask about, because my thing is nobody is perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. Doesn't matter how much work you do, you're never going to be perfect. So there are always going to be things that come up. And when it comes to seeing like those imperfect things or those problem things or those challenge things in partner and relationship, I see those as being more, okay, well, these are the things that I need to keep an eye on, pay attention to, and maybe we need to work through. Like, just because something's coming up for me as a trigger doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. It means that it's something that I've dealt with and experienced in my past. I've probably put walls up around it, but like those walls and those boundaries are to prevent you from getting hurt, but they don't help you grow. So, potentially in choosing to allow red flags to say, no, that's it, I'm done, you're also not allowing yourself to grow.
Yeah. And to maybe accept different things, because I actually would even put in my head, if my kids have something that I'm like, I don't care, it's my
right.
Worked in my face, and I would still say, "Wow," but in my relationship with you,
right? Well, I mean, the love that you have for your children is unconditional, or at least that's the theory that is the type of love a parent has.
Absolutely true. Even when you want to push them into traffic, you don't, because you still love them.
That's right. And just for all of the Arkelians joining us now and in the future, please don't push your children into traffic.
I didn't push any of mine into traffic. They're all well. Hello to some people while we're having a little break.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, Alicia. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Amanda. Amanda has a good question. She has a good question. How will she know human love? How will I know I find my special human love? I love that.
I love that. I love that.
Yes. Okay. Hello, Lisa Marie. Mary,
Yes.
I apologize. I'm so used to saying Lisa Marie because, she just passed.
Lisa Marie.
Anyway,
That's right.
hello, Tatiana, and hello, Verna.
Hello.
Okay. So, Amanda
Oh,
was
and I have Tina and Nicole as well. Hi.
miss people. Oh, I'm sorry, Tina and Nicole. I'm a terrible human being. I'm sorry. Hello.
They just popped in at the end.
Okay. Oh, and there's JC.
And JC.
Erin's here, JC. She wasn't going to come unless you were here.
Simone. And JC, I am so glad that you're on with us today because I haven't been seeing your posts in my personal Facebook. So I'm not sure what happened, if I did something or if you did something, but I think it was an accident either way. So I'm thinking about you.
Oh, you two need a hug.
You really do. And hello to Penny and Simone and Jerry. It's great to see all of you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Now, okay, I want to address Amanda's question because I don't know about you, but at least once a week, I have someone ask me, when am I going to find him? When am I going to find the one, that special person? Now, I actually think that has to do with what we were just talking about. I think that right now we expect we have an expectation that our partner is going to change our lives. They're going to make everything better. And everything about me will be better. Everything about them. It'll all be just like it was the first time we blinked. That's what we think.
Okay, just a moment. Is that what we're calling it? I just want to be really clear.
But we could call it lots of different things.
Okay.
Bang, boink, bump uglies.
I think they're pretty, but okay.
Demons with two backs.
All right. So we do have lots of euphemisms. Today we might be using boinking.
Yes. Yeah. And boinking is an essential part of love, in my opinion.
I completely agree with you with that. Absolutely.
Yes. I think that is something we ladies fool ourselves into thinking is not true. Like we fool ourselves into thinking we don't need to masturbate. But we do.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think part of that has to do with the sexual evolution and revolution that's been happening the last 50 or so years. Like there was a time that a woman was considered like unchaste or unpure or like wanton if she had a sex drive.
Or crazy, actually. You could get put in an asylum.
Yes.
I would have been put into an asylum for. Thank God I was born in this decade. Not this decade, this time.
Yeah, I'm hearing Forever Young in my head, Bobbi.
Forever young. Which one?
I wanna be forever young. That one.
Do you really want to live? I think that was my grad song. Anyway, now Jerry is good. Jerry has things to say about this because Jerry, we know, had a long husband-wife relationship that has one person on one side and one person on the other side. And it's still right firmly there. Okie dokie. You really, I like what she said. That when you just keep on being without, you just feel it deep without words. Yeah, like they're your family. Yeah, it's very,
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love the words. I'll just read the whole comment so everybody can hear it. So Jerry said, you feel it really deep without words. It is warmth, safety, and so familiar. Like you have been with this person many, many times before, and it is still right and firmly there. I love that, Jerry. That's beautiful.
I do too. Yeah.
Part of the question that I have, and I hope that you're still with us to answer, is what did it feel like for you at the beginning? Because I can see how a love can evolve into this feeling of safety and warmth and familiarity, because it becomes all of those things. But was it like that for you from the very beginning or from like early on?
3 comments down.
Oh,
she says, I felt that before my hubby. And I were introduced.
Oh, yes. Interesting. Interesting.
Because that takes me to how I got my husband. And I think I've told everyone that story. I manifested mine. I tell him all the time, you are here because I brought you. So my kids that too.
Yeah, and that's how Bobbi's wearing the pants in her relationship too.
That's how I am. I tell people you exist because I say you do. I actually had a friend who used to tell people that. He
Did
goes, "You
you?
know, when I'm asleep, you stop existing."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
love that.
Mary was 16 when she met her man.
Wow, that's really early. That's
I think that's like my
awesome.
mom.
Mhm.
Mom and dad met when they were 16 and 19 because my dad died at the age of 41. Actually, he didn't even live
Mhm.
41. So that
Mhm.
they could have, well, they could make all of us and they could have their time together because
Yeah.
everything happens the way it's stupid, but it's true.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now manifesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I actually have an interesting story about manifesting that happened to me just this past weekend.
Oh, smashing. Tell
Last
us.
weekend, yeah. So I haven't really been online, but I have kind of started dating again, which has been really interesting. It came about through a bizarre series of events. I had a profile on a social networking site that had been dormant for many years, and suddenly I had people, men, messaging me through it. So I hopped on right after Christmas, not expecting anything, and have found myself in a world where, yeah, I am ready to start dating again, and I am interested in getting out there and connecting with people. So fast forward a couple of weeks to the beginning of January, and I met this really, really interesting man. Like I'm still thinking about him. Things happened. He was sick, phone issues. I mean, there's part of me that's like, okay, Erin, like maybe it wasn't actually that. Maybe he just wanted to let you go. And that's fine. We weren't so far into things that I couldn't do that. But I found myself still thinking about him. And I'm like, I haven't heard from this guy for like a week or a week and a half. Yes, he's inspired a lot of really significant feelings. But one of the lessons that I'm learning as an empath this time around is instead of allowing myself to see the potential for what could be, I'm focusing on what is right in front of me. And I know that in the past, that's been a really big challenge. And I see this with a lot of my empathic clients as well, because you see the potential in the person, you see the potential in what they're telling you, but not focusing on the actions that are being taken. So one of my big lessons that I'm working on this time around with dating is I'm going to focus on what is right in front of me, and those are actions more than words. So the actions aren't present, but I'm still feeling and experiencing this, and I'm seeing myself in like this future relationship and connection. And of course, my good friend Miss Bobbi Rowntree is popping into my head. I'm like, Erin, these feelings are coming
Am
up.
I
They're
naked?
significant. They're real. I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Did you ask me if I was naked?
No violence. Every time someone asks me, tell me they're thinking of me, I say, "Am I naked at the time?"
Okay, well, next time you will be. I'll make sure of it.
Oh, no, will happen because you'll be like, "No, don't be naked."
Bobbi, we're clothed. Come on now.
Hopefully, I look way better in your mind than in reality. You sorry.
Oh dear. So I decided I was going to take him specifically as a person outside of the equation, because everything that I was seeing and feeling was what I wanted to create. And so instead of putting him in that spot, I'm bringing an openness. And
Excellent.
and it brought in a new connection with somebody that I've been talking with and been spending some time with. I don't think that he is the person for a variety of different reasons, but it's been an opportunity to see another perspective and a new experience in what can be. And I think that's equally significant when we're in a time and a space of meeting new people and finding, because it helps us to get over maybe some of the things that are holding us back.
Yes, and I think we also get globbed onto the soulmate, special somebody, twin flame idea, and then we can
Yeah.
actually spectrum out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, Amanda, that was actually for your question. Actually, special someone manifestation. But okay,
Beautiful.
so you are, in my opinion, from listening to what you
Mhm.
say, manifesting the idea and the feeling rather
Mhm.
than trying to create something with a particular being.
Yes, and
Okay.
I think that at this, certainly at this stage in dating, is part of where we can start going wrong, because we find somebody who exhibits some of the things that we're wanting, and we can grow and develop that, right? In
Yes.
our mind, but it's not necessarily there. And one of the things that I learned very early on in my dating career was that you need to believe people when they show you who they are. And it's a tricky one because, as somebody who's an optimist who sees like the potential in things, that's difficult, right?
Well, and also too, people can be a little bit different based on what they're going through at that time.
Absolutely.
And usually when you first meet somebody, they regale you of all the things that other people have done to them that are just so awful. So you start actually going, oh, well, that was because this person did this. I can fix that.
Right?
Better. Oh my golly sakes, yeah. Actually, a little bit of that, the competition of other women. I don't know why we're so competitive with each other. We're all not going for the same apple, for goodness sakes.
Absolutely.
Adam's apple.
It's interesting you say that because my social media reels and stuff now is full of dating advice and stuff. And I'm loving it because I love seeing other people's perspectives. And one fellow shared a comment that had come in for him. And it was that men believe that they are competing with the top 10% of like male partners and male matches. And he said, actually, they're competing with the peace that a woman feels as a single woman. I thought that's huge. You're not competing with any other men. I mean,
No.
potentially depending on the woman, but what you're really competing with is the fact that I'm single, I'm happy, I'm successful, I love my life. You need to bring something to that and not take away from that.
Yes. A partner should be the icing on your cake. You're the cake.
Absolutely.
Sometimes
as long as we both get to eat cake, I'm fine with that analogy.
I have told people come to me and said, when am I going to find him? And I say, you don't want him right now. You're a mess. And you're going to attract him. Right. You got to work on this. And then you're going to attract what you want. Yeah. Because like attracts like. It's just.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know why, but they want me to pull up the idea that actually when I did manifest my husband, I did not see his face. I could not see his face. And when I did see him, I had to walk by him very closely to see if I could feel anything.
Have you shared your husband meeting story online? I love it. I was thinking about it the other day. Would you?
Okay. I don't know if I've shared it online. Have I shared it with you guys online?
I know that I've heard it a couple of times, but I think it's awesome. And I think that could be really inspirational, particularly for women who are done with online dating and looking to connect with men in person.
Yeah, because I was kind of online dating a little bit. I was online chatting with people, but my goodness gracious. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I'm a mommy. Oh my gosh. It was like, as I was a mom, I had so many men that were like, no way, you got kids, blah, 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 blah. That was a really big problem for men, which you got a problem with me having kids. You got off you go. See you later.
Exactly. It's a really great way to sort through them very quickly.
Yeah, really, really, really great way. So what I did was I thought about him for 3 months. I went on dates with him in my head. Every time my kids were doing something, I did something with my imaginary man. And we would, the one I found did not have the house that the imaginary one did.
That's one that you guys create together.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to create that indoor pool, but the imaginary man had an amazing indoor pool. Anyway,
you know what? You might not want an indoor pool in reality. It breeds like mold and bacteria.
I always have it in my head that if I had an indoor salt pool, I would swim every morning. But I'd probably go, I don't have time to swim in that pool because I can't afford it if I don't work. That's what would happen.
You can come and swim in my salt pool anytime.
Whatever. You just gotta throw your ocean in my face anyway. So after a certain amount of time, I went to one of our fellow seers. I went to the other Erin.
Good. And what did the other Erin say?
And to be very, very truthful, out of there's only so many psychics that I go to for advice. And Erin are one of them. The other Erin was one of them. Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. And actually, Natasha, she's in Duncan. She does tarot. Anywho, but Erin Lawson said to me, whatever it is you're manifesting, it's going to happen. And I said, when? She said 3 months. I said, no. I do not want 3 months. She
Yeah.
said 3 weeks. I said, 3 days later, I was in the 50s and I had my kids. We were all done. And I saw these men walk in. I was like, oh, that is him. That is him. I don't know where in my head I thought he was a social worker, but I did. Anyway, so I followed him around the grocery store, giving him a little eye, a little thing with my kids all in tow. And he just thought we kept on walking into each other. And then when we were at the checkout, he was at this checkout. I was at this checkout. I should include this a little bit.
Yeah, this was a good part.
And going, why? Why does he seem so familiar? What is it about him? I was like, oh my God. He looks so much like my father. It's interesting. Like so much that people make, my family makes comments and I don't want to leave my mother alone with him. So he finished with his checkout woman. I had the slowest woman on the planet checking me out. And he walked over and handed me a piece of paper and he said, I think you dropped this. And it was his name and phone number. And that's why Call Me Maybe, even though he hates that, is one of our songs. Hey, I just met you and this is crazy. Because it was like so hot back then. We were, yeah. Anyway, it was August. So that is my manifestation story. No coupons that day. With that, if I hadn't been manifesting him, if I hadn't gone and chatted with Erin and had her tell me that my manifestation was working, I would never recognized him when he walked in. I would have just thought, oh, there's another hot guy that probably won't want to date me because I have 3 children.
But you know, the awesome thing was that they were right there with you.
So he saw them. Well, he has 2. So that's very helpful. And he's a family man kind of person. You know, like the more the merrier. Yeah. Perfect. And he comes from a family like that. That is very hail, hail, the gang's all here. Which is something that's amazing all the time, actually. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
So and you know, the same thing.
Yes, but I'm going to put that on hold for a second because I loved one of the things that you said earlier was that every time your kids were busy, you were actively going on dates and manifesting your partner. And because part of what that does is that's showing that you have time to fit somebody in. I mean, I don't know how many other women are like me in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond because you're single. You have a really busy life, a really full life. Maybe you're self-employed like me, or you've got kids, or you've got other things going on. When you find those little pockets of time, you're saying to the universe, yeah, I do have time for someone. Because look, I'm able to think and I'm able to put this energy aside for them. And still able to maintain all of the obligations that I have to my kids, to my family, to my work, whatever it is that's occupying your time, you're fitting that in around and you can prioritize.
Exactly. It's especially if you know what your priorities are. That's why knowing yourself is such a good idea. Who's angry with us?
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any of our comments. So
probably a whoopsie doopsie. People have done that before, accidentally.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I find that too. That expectation is everything. And well, yeah, that's kind of funny. Well, yeah, it's kind of funny. My brain is all the time right now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I have so many things on my head and on my mind and things like that. And I have people talking in my head right now.
Okay.
Questions. What's going on? A lot of chatter go on in my head right now. Somebody asked the question.
Can I just sneak in? Because Laura's got a really awesome comment that I really resonate with. So Laura said, this video is so timely as I've entered the dating realm recently. Like, welcome. I want to say that the water is warm, but I've not been here long enough to be able to say that.
She's added something that I need to ask you about.
Yeah.
What we do. That's actually a big thing. When I met my husband, because he gave me his phone number, we texted all night long, and then we went for coffee. And I flat out told him what I was.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just going to get this out of the way. This is what I do for a living. I'm never going to change that. It's real. It's true. You have a problem with that? And he told me all about himself, actually. Like, oh,
Amazing.
well,
Amazing.
so, if you've seen any of my husband's carvings or anything like that, you can tell there's some spirituality there within him. He just moves in a kind of way.
Yeah.
So do you tell people what you do?
That's a really good question. So I'm just going to finish here that Laura's mentioned having the same issues as an empath. So that's specifically, that's specific what we're addressing here. Yeah. And you know what? For a long time, I didn't tell people. One, because I wasn't completely confident in what I was doing, and I had men who had tried to change my mind, and basically said, you know, once you're my wife, once you're my woman, you're not going to do anything, and none of this stuff, right? Talk about a red flag. And recently I had an experience with somebody that I had met, and we were just talking, and he was responding to a text he'd received from somebody, and he said, oh man, fucking empaths drive me crazy. I'm like, okay, well, this isn't gonna work then.
Yeah, but just the fact that he acknowledged that empath exists.
Yes, absolutely.
That right there is a big thing to me, because
absolutely
so many people poo us, and in the mainstream, it's just ridiculous. Most of the time, I don't tell people what I do for a living. Yeah, because I just don't want to defend myself.
Absolutely, I totally hear
a grandparent right there.
Yeah. So one of the things that I'm really working on this time around and recognizing is, just because somebody has like an idea about something that I am or something that I do doesn't mean that I have to take that on. That's not mine. Yeah, you've probably had really terrible experiences with empaths. As our like very short time together progressed, I can certainly see why, because there was a lot of stuff that was really triggering that, you know, he only had a very like small conscious awareness of it, but I felt like
something else.
Yeah, because of the like up and down that he was going through, and he's been going through like diagnosis for a whole pile of different things, and like so he's trying to figure it out. But in all of that stuff that he was going through, I was just like holding on for dear life to keep myself balanced. And he kind of comes at me with like, "You're no fun." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm no fun because there isn't room for me to have fun."
Because I'm trying to hold this damn tree down.
Right. Like, I'm trying not to make things worse, but you're definitely you're figuring your own stuff out. So, you know, in the first initial getting to know somebody, which I think is a great time to let them know about like something for us, like our work. I think that's a really significant time, important time. Nothing that comes up then is personal. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their experiences in the past. And great. That's awesome, because now you know it's probably not something that they're willing to work through. It's not something you're willing to compromise on. Great. You don't need to invest any more time and energy in this person, and you don't have to take it on personally. It's just, that's not your person.
Well, you see, and that brings me to the next level of it.
Yeah.
We found falling in love. Now staying in love.
Yeah.
Now, okay, what you said really, really pertains very well when you just meet somebody. What if you've known that person and you've been with them all this time? And you thought, oh, well, they'll get over that. Oh, well, that one might change. And then you think, okay, I can deal with that because there's all of this.
Yeah.
But it's still there all the time. What do you do? Keep on looking at the flowers and pretend you do not see the angry grasshopper smacking you in the head. Or you press the grasshopper, because you can't look at the flowers nice enough without the grasshopper wicking you in the head. Okay, so this is way too metaphoric. I'm sorry. I know.
So what if your love and the care that for the person that you're in love with, what if it's being derailed by the challenges? That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah. How do you stay in love? Because it's so easy to fall in love. Because it's all new. And even when you're first, like, you actually have sex like 3 or 4 times a day. You do not do that when you've been married a few years because you're like, I'm tired. Why would I do this right?
And potentially sore. I mean,
Yeah.
unless things are getting calloused from overuse, you're probably sore. You know what? I think we need a gynecologist on here. Can you develop calluses there? That's what I want to know. No,
Actually, I have a very, very sad answer to that one. So yeah. No.
Okay. We
Having
will
been in
not
the
go
vagina monologues, you hear some stories that will absolutely break everything in your brain. So yes, actually, you can.
That's really, yeah.
Yeah, but it's one story in particular that Anyway, one day we'll talk. I would love to do the vagina monologues again. Gosh, I would love to do that. I haven't done it in years, not in a decade. No, 8 years. Anyway, okie dokie. Yeah. How do we stay in love, Erin?
So this is the way that I see emotion just in general. So when you've got like stuff coming up in your relationship, usually there are emotions that are coming with it. You've got frustration, you've got anger, you've got hurt or disappointment or depression or whatever. There is some emotion that's telling you, hey, there's something here that isn't working for me. And the way that I see emotions is I see them as being the signposts that are guiding us towards what we need to recognize. And I think as women in particular, and I say this only because at this point, the way that our society has been is the focus has been on women being emotional and men not. So that's the only reason that I'm bringing this up. I'm not in any way suggesting that men can't also be empathic and emotional as well.
Oh my God, can they ever?
Right?
Temper, anger, hello.
But I think as women, we tend to be a little more well-versed in understanding what it is that we're feeling and paying attention to it and doing something about it. That's, I think,
encouraged to explore it.
Exactly.
Big boys don't cry. They suck it up.
That's right. And the only emotion that is acceptable for a man to feel is anger, because that's manly and not womanly.
Destructive.
Right. So I see emotions as being the signposts that are showing us that, hey, there's something here that we need to address and we need to look at. And I think that it's important that we do address those things. So it's probably going to start off with you. Like, why am I feeling this emotion? What's coming up for me? What is triggering for it? And once you have an understanding of that, then it feels like it's time to talk with your partner. You know, if there is love that is there and both of you are willing to work on your partnerships and your relationship, then my expectation is that you're going to find a way to do that. You know, when you're dealing with a man-woman relationship, men in relationships, they want their partners to be happy just as much as women. We want our partners. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Them too. Yeah.
Exactly. And
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and one of the things that can be really difficult for men is knowing that his partner is unhappy, because that is what he wants the most, right?
Is that are taken completely by surprise when they're asked for a divorce. Completely and absolutely. I know one.
Yeah.
And I also find too that when something is going on inside of you, sometimes you don't realize it. And you look at your spouse and go, what the heck? Why do I feel like that?
Right. Yeah.
You're supposed to go, cracker. That's all I was doing. But they're the one right next to you. So it's their fault. And I think people do that a lot too. Identifying what is actually some wackadoo stuff that's happening in you and what is possibly something that your spouse can be glaring it or exasperating it, because when something bugs you about yourself, like I have a pimple. All I can think about is the pimple. And because all I can think about is the pimple, people go, you have a pimple.
Right.
I have a mirror. I know I have a pimple. Well, I have no uterus and I have a pimple. What the hell? But because it's bugging me, it's on my mind. Because it's on my mind, people say it to me. So I think that your spouse can do that too. I think people are very quick to go, you suck, somebody new. And then they go and they get a spouse that's exactly like the last spouse. That one always blows my mind when I see people interchanging people. It's like, oh my God, it's the same guy, just wears glasses now. crazy. Holy
And
cow.
I just wears glasses.
Yeah.
When you said that, I saw like the gonzo glasses. I think that's what they called, with the nose and the mustache.
Like marks.
Yes. Groucho glasses.
Groucho glasses.
Yeah. Mhm.
Amanda says she's a hot mess right here. No ducks. I have squirrels, and those bishes are everywhere. I'm in bishes. You bish.
You bish. Yeah, I've been seeing that on the real videos as the way to circumvent. Anyway, yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
I swore in my last real video I didn't.
So actually, if we can just kind of pause for a moment, because I think Amanda makes a really interesting point. She's talking about no ducks, but she's got squirrels everywhere. Yeah. So if you find that you're in like a place of dating and you are just attracting people that are just not resonating for you, it's time to take a break. Take a break, clear yourself, because you're attracting whatever it is that you're attracting is not what you're wanting. So there's some work that you're needing to do for yourself. So cut it off completely, take a break, recenter yourself, regroup. And when you go back into it, have the expectation that you will only be attracting people that are aligned with you.
Yeah, that's actually what I always tell people. I'm like, you don't want someone right now. You're a mess. You don't want to exasperate. I don't say it, but I say something like that. Okie dokie. Cindy is new here, and Cindy is commenting great.
We love it. Welcome, Cindy.
I
love it. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
So
go
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okie dokie. I was just looking at Maxine's question, and she's talking about the career and job and manifestation rather than man and manifestation.
Yep. Okay.
That actually could talk to what we were just actually talking about. How maybe actually putting your personal house in order might be what you want to do first. Hope that somebody else with their house in order is going to come and knock on your door.
Absolutely. I mean, go ahead.
As a single lady, though, you don't wait for someone to knock on your door. If you're not going to online date, what do you do?
Okay, so actually, I have a really quick story about that. I had a client and somebody who was a really good friend, and we were talking about how she was going to bring a partner in, and she said, Erin, I've been manifesting that he's just going to knock on my door and he's just going to be there. And she lives up in a really secluded area. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, we can put that energy out there, but I'm seeing these other things. She came back a couple months later. She said, so my neighbor's cousin was visiting and he knocked on my door and we're together now. I'm like, wow, universe, that's way to like show me that I'm wrong.
Well, maybe she actually met him that way and then said, okay, wait, can you just go knock on my door right now?
You're right.
Just so I can tell Erin she's wrong. That's probably what happened.
I'm totally okay with being wrong, especially when the outcome is positive like that. This didn't end up being a long term, but it was certainly how he came into her life.
See, and that's the thing too. Does it have to be long term? Does it have to be the rest of your life? Could you actually meet the love of your life, have time with them, and then actually get each other to a point where it's no longer
someone new?
Oh, I didn't think about that, but I don't want to think. Anyway.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be someone new, but this is the way that I see relationships, that we grow together. These are the parts where we are working really well together. Sometimes one of us goes off and we're learning and the other person stays steady and consistent. Other times it's the other person. Sometimes it's both of us. And sometimes we just continue to go like this and then the relationship ends. But often what happens in relationships is you'll be like this and then you come back together. And, I see these times of growth as being really important and significant, because otherwise you as a person and an individual, you're staying stagnant in your growth and your relationship is staying stagnant as a result as well. So I see these times as being really important. You're hopefully never always going to be on the same page as your partner.
Because that would be very boring.
It would be.
And you've probably seen it too. So many people who they were like, oh, that was my time. I should have left then. Thought it would get better. And then so many people who say, oh, I'm so glad to not leave then. because we got through that and now it's better than it ever was.
Yeah.
So you never know which one it's going to be. You never
Yeah.
know if you're actually slugging it out and making it for the long haul, or if you are actually being slugged around
Mhm.
and you don't realize, okay, maybe I should stop. Because the rocks are dashing me away. So,
Right?
like, how do you know the difference between those two?
For me, I think that a lot of it has to do with if you are the only one who is actively growing, working, and evolving. Like if you keep coming back to the same place in your partnership, in your relationship, because your partner isn't working with you, I think
Yeah.
that's a really good thing to take into consideration. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier in not falling in love with the potential of what a person or what a relationship can be, but instead focusing on what is. Now, I'm not saying that you give up after the first couple of times because I truly believe that sometimes it does take people a while to get on the same page, especially if you've been doing a lot of work. But also recognizing that it's important for you not to be the enabler in that either,
Yeah.
that your partner needs to take some initiative and needs to put some energy forward to that so that both of you are equally contributing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you need to always think about your partner. Like, you can
Yeah.
sit there and think about, oh, why did they do this? Why did they do this? And then think about,
Mhm.
oh, wait a minute, I did that. That could be perceived as really bad.
Right.
I wasn't even thinking when I did that. Holy cow, I see that now.
Mhm.
Because we don't like our own little things that we do. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't, because I've had people say to me, man, did you ever look at them bad? And I'm like, who? What did I look at? Who would I do? Why did I do that? Because I'm thinking about something else. And I just happen to be staring in that direction. So you never quite know how you are actually coming off to people or how people are
Mhm.
feeling. Yeah, that's where communication is good.
Yeah, I think that's really important that you're taking responsibility for your own actions too. And being honest with yourself. That's huge. And I think that that's something as women that we aren't necessarily always allowing our partners to do because there are a couple of aspects to this. First of all, it's on each of us as individuals to be honest with ourselves because we can't be honest with someone else if we aren't first honest with ourselves. So, if I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, so I'm, choosing to not be honest with myself and therefore not honest with them, then I'm perpetuating challenge in the relationship.
Oh,
So
you're part of the problem.
right? Because that's also a form of enabling. Like if I don't want to hurt somebody, then I'm part of that problem. I'm part of that dynamic. So that's something I need to be honest with myself about and I need to change. And potentially I need to be honest with the person that I'm with. The other aspect
That
is
sounds
what about the reactions that we have when our partners aren't being honest with us? Are we actually creating a safe space for our partner to be honest with us about what they're feeling? Or are we just only allowing them to give us a single answer or within a realm? Like,
because we've made up
is,
our mind already.
yeah. So if you're in a space where you're having challenge with your partner or even just in general you have a partner that you want to be open and honest with you, you need to create safe space for them to be honest with you and potentially not take things personally. I mean, maybe they're bringing something up because it's something that's triggering for them, but that doesn't necessarily mean we need to take it like as a personal affront or an assault to us. It's more that we need to be able to focus on, okay, well, if this is a problem and a challenge, what do we need to do to fix it so that it's okay for you and it's okay for me too?
Yeah, or maybe it is personal as well. Maybe that person is sick and tired of watching you pick your nose and eat it. Maybe you want to stop that.
That could be. That could be.
That would totally be a deal breaker for me. I'm sorry. I'm like, I
Yeah.
cannot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
That's right. I'm
because
I'm texting your husband right now and letting him know that he can't be doing that anymore. Just giving him the heads up.
no, I wish you hadn't given me the visual. Now, okie dokie. We have actually we've ignored our friends.
We've totally gone off track.
I'm sorry, friends. We have ignored you so very much.
Yeah.
Ah, Okie dokie. Oh, Cindy got kicked back and then she had to come back in. She thought she had gone into FB jail.
Oh no, no.
I hope we didn't do anything that did that. I didn't touch anything. So
Yeah, no, we didn't touch anything. We're glad that you're here.
yeah, it's okay. So do you want to stay on the love topic or do you want to go on to topics that people are talking about as well?
I'm happy to go in whatever direction you feel. So what are you being drawn to?
I'm actually being drawn to Tatiana's comment about how it
Yes.
feels like when I tell people how I can feel, see, sense things, it kind of freaks them out or
Yeah.
they belittle, disbelieve me. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Tatiana as well. So I'm really glad that you brought that one up.
That's
So
funny.
what comes up for you?
Oh, for me, just the fact that I can't even be openly honest with all of my friends. That if I say any of our buzzwords, I can see them shut down or give me that don't do that look because I'm not into what you do. And I think, why am I friends with you?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I know that the people that I was really close friends with as I started on this path I'm no longer close with. In fact, I think that most of them have either removed me or they no longer see my posts and updates and stuff on Facebook.
Wow,
Okay.
that kind of crazy.
I guess so. It just really wasn't their thing. And you know what? I'm okay with that because again, like they're removing themselves from my life because they're not on the same path. I've certainly done the same with other people as well who are posting lots of stuff that it's just like I'm not seeing the world in the same way that you are. I don't think that you're a bad person, so I still want to be connected to you, but I don't want to see your stuff all the time.
Yeah, I actually got to the point where I wasn't looking at my feed.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't want to lose any more friends. I'm just not gonna look anymore, which is silly.
Yeah.
Because
So I mean, like going back to Tatiana, when it comes to meeting or connecting with new people, there are a couple of things that I do. So first of all, I might ease them in. So if somebody asks me what I do initially, I'll just say that I'm self-employed and I have been for 17 years. And if somebody wants to know more, then I say, yeah, I have a practice where I help and support people with the stuff they're going through, and I'll talk maybe about intuition. So like I lead people into it, and I can kind of gauge.
I do.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm a medium. And sometimes they go, what's that? And then I talk to the dead. And then they go, sometimes they go cool. Sometimes they walk in. Yeah. I used to not tell people. I used to tell people I was a yoga teacher because I am.
Yeah.
I actually got to the point where I was like, screw it. I'm going to tell people I'm a medium. And actually, Tatiana, when they belittle you or disbelieve you, don't feel sorry for them, but maybe send them love, because if they don't believe you, then they aren't believing about extraordinary things about themselves. And they're not seeing when their grandpa leaves them a dime, and they're not noticing this, and they're not noticing the poor creatures. So just know that you know something that they aren't aware of. That's it. And just feel bad. No, don't feel bad for them.
Don't feel bad. I would say that I'd see that as just recognizing that you guys have different experiences and different priorities in this lifetime.
But don't you want everyone to figure it out?
Well, I know that I know that there are other people who feel really strongly about what they see, what they feel, what they experience, maybe say in politics, and they just want everybody to figure it out the way that they have.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay, how about because I don't. If you figure out Christianity, you figure out Islam, you figure out Judaism. Figuring out that there is something larger than us, that there's more to this existence than just the politics. The everyday of it. Because if you actually look at the politics, it is a cycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
One, I have seen it every decade. Villain, the same this, blah, blah. Anyway, so I guess I don't mean to sound judgmental in any sort of way, but what I mean is that this is why I do it. It's why I started the YouTube channel, because they said, get loud. People need to know about what you know about. We're privileged.
Absolutely.
So incredibly privileged that I was born weird. For the weird. I had to figure it out to make sense of it. And I believe that was so that I could say, hey, you're weird. Let me show
And
you.
I'm weird, and weird is okay.
Yeah, weird is smashing, and everybody's weird differently. And this is how you figure out how you're weird.
Absolutely.
And if you don't know you don't know how to figure out how you're weird.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I come at it from a different perspective, that I am not going to force anybody to change their mind, to have an experience, change their opinion. But what I am going to do is I'm going to live my life, and I'm going to live my vibrant life, you
Yeah,
know.
betcha. You lead by example.
And if you want to join me, awesome. Then I am so happy to talk with you, to help you. I've got lots of tools, like, again, like doing what we're doing now. But I'm not going to try and force you to change your mind,
Oh
because I
gosh,
know
no.
that doesn't work.
Well, and
And
it's also not for each person.
no,
No,
it's really not.
they need Christianity. They need Islam. They need
Yeah,
a different type sort of structure, or a structure of some
yeah,
sort. When I was younger, I
absolutely.
certainly did. Yeah.
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 And without any sort of judgment, I am okay when somebody tells me no. Like, if you're not interested in what I do, cool. I have no problem with you not being into the experiences that I've had, or acknowledging your own experiences. Like, that for me, it's a really hard line that comes down to free will and choice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I used to get upset. I used to take it
Hmm.
personally. Yeah. I
Hmm.
used to get made fun of and things like that, because I hung out with people who didn't believe.
Yeah.
And they would get intoxicated and tell me how much they didn't believe. And then I would tell them.
Show them.
Oh, yeah. I'll make them cry. Anyway, Jerry says too. She says, I rarely tell people what I do and see. One of my
Yeah.
boys never hesitates to tell on me. I love that. I had a sign made for my first yoga studio. I was so afraid to put it out. He just grabbed it and put it on my front lawn. He said, there, you're open. He was like 13. I was like, okay, thank you. Thanks, Jesse. Same thing. Jerry's son is going, Mom, you got something. You got to tell people, because,
Gotta tell them.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially where you live, Jerry, because you might actually be like a bastion for people. But anyway.
And that's another thing, is the more open that we are about who we are and what we're doing, the more that we're creating safe space for other people to share their experiences.
Yes. The more you are okay with who you are, the more you're grounded and rooted. Yeah, because you're not grounded and rooted, you can't do a reading properly either. But I was totally on ground. And I was like, what is going on in my head? And we had to go to the comments, because it was like, somebody's telling me. Because that's what will happen. I can't what I want to think about, because there's somebody going, oh, no, this. Oh, no, this. Buddy. That's what they do.
Pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention to this. That person sound like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mine would drive everyone insane. I wonder what you're talking about, Cindy.
Yeah, and I've got here, it takes a lot of work too. I've missed the. Oh, okay, hold on. Cindy said here, I have MS and I'm in a wheelchair. Yeah.
I see.
My husband takes care of me. It's taken our relationship on a roller coaster. Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one.
That. Yes, my husband is faced with a similar problem. Well, not similar at all. I'm sorry. My husband has to caregive for me every now and again. And I feel like, it's frustrating, isn't it, Cindy? Because you think, I hate that, but it's so wonderful, because anything, it makes your husband feel like he's actually helping. He can actually do something for you and make it better, because he can't make it better. Yeah. So all he can do is, And I don't know if you get your husband to rub your feet, but you might want to get your husband to rub your feet. Sorry. Actually, I saw him with MS. That was the first people I used to teach yoga to, for people with multiple sclerosis. So I have actually researched the condition. I know about MS, because I was so scared when I was teaching them.
We will have to talk. One of my loved ones has just recently been diagnosed with MS, so we'll have to talk with Miss Bobbi.
Yes, we'll have to talk. Yeah, because the yoga should. Yeah, they might want to start the yoga right away to get the body-mind connection going.
Perfect.
That's why I was teaching them. Yeah,
I will definitely mention.
So it's recognized by the Multiple Sclerosis Society as a very helpful tool with multiple sclerosis.
Interesting.
Multiple Sclerosis Society actually paid for it and did everything. Yeah.
Very cool.
Through
Very
Kavita
cool.
Maharaj, if you live in Nanaimo. Yes.
Wonderful. That's great
It's
to
like
know.
yoga teacher. Like, oh my gosh.
Great tomorrow. Yeah. Awesome. I just noticed Cindy's next comment. Oh Lord, communication. We have twin 16-year-old sons. Lord, testosterone overwhelmed. I just got a kick out of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Communication is definitely tricky.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you are, but twin 16-year-olds. Oh, I see Cindy. Oh gosh, sakes, Cindy, you have twin 16-year-old sons as well.
Yeah.
See, I giggle because that's my hysterical mummy giggle. Like, oh my God. But they're 16 now. So they're probably all full of love for their mummy. And yeah.
Mhm.
So you need a litter.
Yeah.
And by a litter, I mean litter are the things that they used to hold and carry.
Oh.
That's A
Yeah.
litter also could be like a litter of people.
A litter of children.
That's one of those words, isn't it? Okie dokie. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Awesome.
Oh,
All right. Oh,
Brenda likes what I do. I can be Brenda's friend.
yeah, I just saw that. I was just gonna say you've got friends, Bobbi.
Yes, we all know each other anyway, so it might as well be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually know her children rather than.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, she's got two very funny, like really cool kids. They're both like joyous kind of people. Anyway,
That's beautiful.
So
That's beautiful.
attraction law, if it's correct in English. Yes, attraction law. Oh, interesting. If it's correct in English. So manifestation, attraction law. Okay. Yeah, we could have actually talked about the whole thing about manifestation today.
Yeah,
And what
absolutely.
manifestation does.
We should probably do a manifestation talk maybe next week or the following week. That would be awesome.
Yes, yes. Hello, Leanne. I don't think we've said hello to you. And
yeah,
Karim or Kareem, I'm not sure. I want to say Kareem just because of the M at the end. There's no two E's. It's
I'm
with an M.
I'm guessing Karim, like Karen, but with an M.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But
we're glad to see you. Yeah, I know we've missed saying hello to a lot of people, so our apologies. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, because we were getting excited.
Yeah. I love Pat's comment, and she says, I get the look when I'm rushing to watch you ladies with a slight bit of understanding. I just want total belief on that side too.
Maybe actually, Pat, I should just walk over to your house.
And we'll live stream from there.
Yes, I could. Yeah. It'll only take me about 10 minutes to walk to her house. If I go quickly, it'll be 5. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Where are we going next, my friend?
Okie dokie. Yeah, Tatiana says she has been attracting people that are more accepting of her weird. So that's good. And it's fine. That's what I called we live in the weirdo world and I'm a weirdo.
Yeah. And weird's good.
Because it's weird. It's odd. It's just, yeah.
But you know what? It's becoming less weird and less odd.
It is.
And I think back to when I first started like professionally doing this work, The Secret was just coming out. And suddenly I had people like in mainstream corporate world, because I was doing lots of like networking and stuff, who started talking to me about energy. Never 5-10 years before that would somebody talk about energy. Now talking about a person's energy or vibe, that's mainstream. You know, like that.
Yeah.
That's mainstream.
Yeah. Yeah, it is to a certain extent. And I only know it only is to a certain extent because I have a child in the mainstream now.
Yes.
Very much in the mainstream. So
yes.
Yeah. But yeah,
well,
people are more accepting of our weirdo-ness, and my kids are getting different responses now. They're so used to not telling anybody at all what their mother does. Now when people find out what their mother does, they're getting yelled at
for not telling them sooner.
With a reading or something, like, come on. Yeah. My kids are like, what? What?
Because we're cool now, Bobbi.
You're always cool, Erin.
Right. Everybody's just figuring it out now.
Yeah. No, they thought that other things were cool. They just now realize that we're cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to be, it's hip to be square.
In the early cool kid club.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting. Amanda, okay, we're back to relationships again.
Yeah. I wanted to go back to Amanda's comment too.
So hard not to focus on the potential a relationship has when mourning what never happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was drawn to talk about grief today as well for other reasons, and I think that our society as a whole, we do grief really poorly. First of all, we only recognize grief really in terms of like a death loss of someone in our lives, and if we don't have a direct connection to that person, then why are you grieving? Grief and loss also apply to relationships that didn't turn out the way that you hoped, or
Oh,
to
you
jobs.
marriage. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many things. And I think it's important to take time to mourn that, just as we would mourn somebody who has physically left this world.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if the both of those are what Amanda is speaking of. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
I totally understand. And yeah, because when I got divorced,
Mhm.
we went into it very like we sat at the kitchen table and got divorced.
Mhm.
Divorced my business partner the first time. There was no bleh with it at all. But the marriage, boy, did I couldn't believe how much I grieved it, how much of a
Mhm.
failure I felt like, how I
Mhm.
missed out being like part of a family with somebody or something.
Mhm.
That's what I really, really grieved. So
Yeah.
when I look at Amanda's question, it's interesting. A part of it makes me think that it's more like, okay, like when I see someone putting their hand in a fire in a reading, that means they're
Mhm.
hurt.
Mhm.
They're afraid to do something else. They're holding back because they've been hurt
Yeah.
and burnt.
Pardon me. And as women, I think that we continue to want to invest in something that we've already started with. So, right? So your partner starts pulling away, you're going to give them more and more and more, and he pulls away even more, you're going to give more and more and more, right? And so we can have grief around like what didn't come to fruition, the dreams that we maybe had. We can have grief about the fact that we feel that we weren't enough, because look at how much we've given and still that wasn't enough. I mean, that's pretty devastating. That's a pretty big
Yes.
blow.
I actually had a client tell me that yesterday.
Yeah.
I've done everything and it's not enough. And I said, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You always were enough.
Yeah.
You just,
Yeah.
yeah, they wanted a frisbee.
And you were a ball.
And you were a ball, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. It is very, very tough. Okie dokie.
And I was just going to say, and with a situation like that, where you've been giving and investing and nothing has come back and the relationship has ended, there can be issues around trust of yourself. Like, why did I stay in something? Why did I give so much? Why did I give myself away?
Yeah, what's wrong with me?
So,
You can even just turn it all on you.
yeah, absolutely. So instead, say, hey, you know what? Like, this was something that I went through, that I experienced. It was a learning experience. And I know that it's important that I prioritize myself, that I focus on like what is in front of me. I'm speaking about this from experience. Like this can be a really great time to reflect upon, okay, well, what did I contribute to this? I mean, obviously there was something that was happening on the other side of the relationship for it to have gone as long or the way that it did. So like there's that, but I also have to take responsibility for my part in it too. So moving forward, how am I going to deal with that?
Yeah. And honestly, the whole time you're talking, the voices in my head are
Mhm.
playing the song Soulmate by Lizzo and
Oh,
the lyrics of it. And it's
I
so
will have to check that out.
oh my gosh, I'm my own soulmate. I know how to love me. I know I'm always going to hold me down. I get
Ooh.
flowers every Sunday. I'm going to marry me one day. That's actually like,
I
what a
love
great idea. Amanda, send yourself flowers every Sunday
Yeah.
or do something like that. Like I buy
Mhm.
myself presents.
Yep.
I buy myself charmed aroma candles and little mugs.
And
Like,
you do that
yeah.
even with a husband and a partner.
Well, yeah,
Hmm?
because My husband, my husband buys me amazing gifts, which I have, and makes me amazing gifts, which I have put on Facebook. And yeah, he knows what to buy me. That in bulk kit I had, that was
That
one of
was
those,
beautiful.
isn't it? When I saw that box, I nearly he came last Sunday and he wanted to bring it down during the live feed, but he knew as soon as he saw the box, he was like, "Oh no, she'll freak out." I was so amazed because I don't know if you noticed that my symbol is actually that. Some stuff right now. That symbol has been my symbol for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea why I chose it.
Yeah.
I'm starting to learn why. Anywho, no, I buy myself my own presents. I'm my own soulmate. I know how to love me. Yeah. You have to. You absolutely have to. And doing it now. Okay. The voices in my head tell me it makes you more attractive to others. We're walking around thinking, I am some hot stuff right now. Like, even just look at Lizzo. If you follow Lizzo on Instagram, you've seen her buttocks. A lot of Lizzo, because Lizzo is body proud. She's like, I don't care. I got a G-string on and you're loving it. And I look at her and go, I am loving it. I think it's smashing.
Because you love it.
Because you love it. So I love it. So I'm looking at you going, I'm not putting a G-string on going on Instagram. There's no way.
That's for your OnlyFans only.
I'd be apologizing for, okay, this is for my surgery marks and this is for my kids. And that's what I'd be tearing myself apart. Yeah. Anyway.
You know what? Just on that body positivity note, I think it's really interesting because, of course, that's been something that's been coming up for me too. And I didn't realize that I'd made this change until somebody commented on it. But I started gaining weight when I was 4, and I've always been at least curvy, sometimes less so, sometimes more so. And I came to the realization that, you know what, this is the body that I'm in right now. Whatever it's going to be in the future, this is what it is right now. And I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to be okay with it. Right. And what I found is that my changed perception on my body has changed the way that other people approach me as well. And in the past, where I may have had, what felt very disrespectful in terms of comments about my body or not being interested because of my body, I'm not seeing that anymore because I feel good and I'm okay. And if that does come up, it's like, okay, well, that's too bad for you because I know I'm a whole lot of amazing in this.
Yes, and a type's a type. And nobody looks like Barbie.
Exactly.
Nobody does. Even Barbie's like, I'm a little punchy right now. Like, it worries about the little. Nope. Everybody's different. Everybody
absolutely
is different.
Everybody is different. Yeah. And even go ahead.
Someone can be attracted to your body, not attracted to my body, or attracted to my body and then not attracted to your body, or maybe attracted to my husband's body. Pretty easy.
That's right, because we're all attracted to different things.
Yeah.
And the older that I've gotten, I mean, dating in my 40s now, so connecting with people from like in their 30s up to their 50s is kind of my general age range. There's so much more about personality, and more of my personality can come through when I'm comfortable. Like if I'm like questioning and worrying and trying to hide, I'm not going to be myself. But if I'm just like, hey, this is me, this is where I am, they're like, yeah, you're pretty cool and awesome. And maybe I wouldn't necessarily have initially been attracted to you on a physical level. What I found is that they're like, yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah. I think that's smashing. And people become less or more attractive when they open their mouths.
That is very true.
Like, you were kind of hot and then you spoke. And I was like, oh my God.
And it just disappeared.
On your face. Yeah. Because they're saying mean things or something like that. So yeah. Or some people, they appear a certain way and then they start talking to you and you're like, I'm so attracted to everything you're saying right now.
What?
Right now. It doesn't have anything to do with physical attraction or anything like that. It's just like the energy they're putting out, what they're putting out, how much they love themselves. You want to be part of that with them.
Exactly.
When you love you, people are like, oh, I want to be part of that.
I love you too.
Yeah, I love you too. I don't even know why. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okie dokie. Tanya's gonna have to catch the replay. Hello.
Hi, Tanya. Oh, awesome. Have a great week too, Maxine. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, where are we now? Okay,
I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place.
Okay, have a great week. Okay.
Yeah. And Nikki says to follow the twins theme, she has 20-year-old twin girls. So yeah.
20-year-old twin girls. I always wanted twins, and then I had a child and thought, oh my God, anyone who has twins, I pray for you. God, I can't even imagine what that's like. It's like that scene in ER when Juliana Margulies has her babies and George Clooney is not there, and she has one on her arms, and all of a sudden she realizes the other one starts to cry and she can't move. She's
pick it up.
The other one. And I started to cry because my child was like, I can't imagine. It was a whole thing. So no, anyone who has twins, I pay homage to you. You two babies at once. My God, I can't even imagine. Okay,
absolutely.
Oh, hello, awesome. Linda. Linda was late with us today, but we're still here.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Tanya. I'm just saying hello.
Same with Tanya too. Hi. Oh, there we go. We've got our first spammer.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we just caught them. Let me see. I've got them, and we're just gonna. I've blocked them, and I'll delete them too. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Oh, he's back. He's back. He went after you, Linda. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry about that.
It takes a moment for them to get rid of, but we've blocked them, so all of the comments should disappear after this. Everybody. Oh, and it looks like we've got another one too. Man, we're popular today, Miss Bobbi.
This is awful.
I know. We're going to have to find a new Anyway. Oh, I like Mary's comment. Grief for your former self.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
For your former self. Huh. That's an interesting idea, actually.
Do you have something coming up?
Well, I okay. What I could actually, if I address the grief for my former self within my divorce, I would say would be a grief for the innocence of love. For the because I had parents. Well, if my dad had lived, I think my parents would have stayed together they would have gone the whole 9 yards. Because most of the marriages in my family did. So I thought for sure it would just keep on rolling and going. And it would be like, because I grew up with a family where when a family member came, every member of their family came to a family gathering. Husband, wife, once you're in the family, that's it. And I did not have that experience. Our generation, I don't think, had that same sort of experience as the people above us, where somebody's in, they're in. Yeah, they are part of the family. So divorce is such an odd question because you're not just divorcing the spouse, you're divorcing
the whole family.
Really, you're divorcing, and sometimes it's like, thank God. Right.
Well, I'm starting to see a slightly different dynamic. And again, this could be part of like what I'm getting just in my Facebook reels and stuff like that. But I am seeing more and more couples that are actively and effectively co-parenting well together so that all of the new family is joining in. So like these are pictures of our daughter playing with his son, playing with, her daughter, like whatever. And they're that is coming around. And I think that we had to go through the time of divorce that we experienced in our generation.
More experienced it than I.
Exactly. Because we needed to come to a point where divorce was something that could be done because, it became okay in our generation when we were growing up. And then we needed to come to a place where we saw how destructive it was and how destructive it could be, not only on like family structures, but on kids. And so then there was the evolution to, okay, well, we need to do this. Like, one, we need to split up because it's not good for us or for our kids. But two, we need to find a way so that it is okay for the whole family. And I think that's part of the evolution that we're seeing. And I'm excited about that's coming to the forefront, though that's not specifically speaking to.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I know that with my ex-husband and his wife had Christmas with us upstairs with all of our family. We all I actually hear the word tolerate, which we do. We all tolerate each other, but we all we're friendly with each other because we all have a common interest in the children. And what really works, though, is that my ex-husband and I were very certainly done with being married to one another. There was oh no, he's with someone else, and oh no, she's with someone else. It was, oh, thank God they have someone else.
Yeah.
I don't want to only because then we were happy that they were with other people. So that might make a bit of a difference. But
absolutely,
I also think it speaks to our times now. We live longer. Getting married for your entire lifetime could be being married for 80 years. I imagine doing anything but breathing for 80 years.
That's a
long time.
It is. And especially if people are getting married when they're quite young, you don't know who you are as a person yet.
You don't know who you are until you're 34, 32. And even then you're like, wait a minute, I'm 42. Who am I?
Still figuring it out. Absolutely. And we're going to grow and learn in different ways with different people. And for me personally, I firmly believe and have experienced that we all have a variety of different romantic soulmate partners in our lifetimes. Maybe we just stay with one because that's all we need, and that's totally fine. But maybe we'll experience 5 different soulmate romantic relationship partners.
Yeah, because you don't know how old your soul is, friend.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe this is your 7th.
Right? And maybe your partner
all the way through.
Maybe your partner passes away while you're both still young. Like I'm just going to borrow your experience, your mom's experience with losing a partner very young in life. Does that mean because that person was her soulmate, does that mean that there isn't another one? That's kind of sad.
Yeah, no, it can't possibly mean that. Or else my dad wouldn't have died. If my mom wasn't supposed to couple with Bob, because that was her second husband, my mother married a man with the same name as me. And he looked at me and I said, no, I'm Bob. Yeah, it made things a little confusing. I was Bobby, he was Bob. That was the way
right.
we do it, Bobby Bob. Yeah. We had to do it like that. But yeah, she had to, and now she's got a new fella.
Yeah.
Oh, my mom's lots of trash. She knows how to make a man come to her. Yeah.
Well done, Bobby's mom. Absolutely. I'm just noticing we have a couple of comments from Brenda and Laura and Jerry that they're not seeing all of the comments with the people we're talking to. We're currently broadcasting to 6 different locations. So
I think they're coming off of Facebook. I mean, off YouTube, aren't they, those folks?
They're a combination. We've got a couple of Facebook people and Jerry's joining us on YouTube. So you only see the people who are commenting on the video stream that you're watching. So as I said, we've got 4 Facebooks and 2 YouTubes. So there is,
It would be nice if we could amalgamate it all so everyone could see everyone's comments. So it would make a lot more sense to people.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you guys were lucky.
Awesome.
Tanya says her situation is different than her mom's experience.
Yeah. I'm assuming that Tanya's talking about divorce. Or about marriage in some way. Yeah, because that's just a recent comment. Yeah.
And see, my only experience with divorce at all as a child was my uncle and aunt who actually just passed away 6 months apart, who separated when I was 5. Wow. And never actually divorced. They actually had houses where their backyards were right. So my cousin could go from one parent to another parent. She always came to every family function. She was the only one at 2 of my sister's weddings because she just happened to be in town. So yeah, it's bizarre. So that was my experience with divorce, is that it actually doesn't exist.
And, I think what's really cool about that is it really goes to show that our romantic relationships and partnerships can be whatever works for us, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Who cares what other people think about your marriage?
Absolutely. I mean, with them being separated but still living together, or not together, but so in such close proximity.
Never could have
I
lived together. She would have killed my poor uncle.
but
But
but there are some relationships that work better when people are apart. Like
yes, I know.
I Yeah, I had a friend, and for the first several years of her partnership with her partner owned the home and lived upstairs, and my friend had her own little like suite on another level, and they would get together at certain times and they'd spend the weekend together, but their relationship functioned better not living together for the first many
That's what I
years.
recommend to everyone over 50. Get a
Yeah.
duplex, because then
Yeah.
you have your own kitchen, get an adjoining door for the bedroom for scrunking and stuff like that. But get your own space, because you get, and
Mhm.
actually, I said to one of my clients, you're set in your ways. And she said,
Mhm.
"I don't get so much set in your ways as much as you know what you want,
Yeah.
you know how you like things to be." Because
Yeah.
a bit of a sharing a kitchen.
That
That's
can be a really big one, or a bathroom. I mean, look at how many problems are caused with the bathroom. Yeah.
especially with different genders using them. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
I'm
sat
thinking
down in
in
the middle of the night,
particular
there
of,
was
like,
no
whiskers.
yeah, oh, no, the seat goes down, or I break my back.
Right?
I'm in that damn thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I mean, when you come to a point where, like, kids are either no longer at home, or you're not planning on having kids, then the nuclear household idea doesn't necessarily make sense
Yeah,
for everyone.
yeah, you could do it. Yeah, yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea.
Mhm.
No, I think I'm gonna experiment with this and try some
Well,
redefining and stuff and see how it goes. Show you guys
I
how.
love it. I hope you'll keep us posted.
Oh, you know me, I like to just expose myself constantly. So yeah, I will.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, Miss Bobby, we're
We're
coming up
busy.
to time. How are you feeling?
I am feeling, yeah, I
Oh,
agree. I
my
think that we should
headset
tell
just
the
kicked
folks
out.
what.
Give
Oh,
me a half a
can
sec.
you hear me?
Oops.
So Erin's not with us
That's the
auditorily,
one
but
thing
she's
the one
back.
thing I don't like about this. Are you there?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Ah, oh, you know
Oh,
what,
it's, like, cut
Brenda?
out altogether.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna talk to Brenda for a second. Okay. I empathize, Brenda, because honestly,
Hmm.
yeah, it's been.
Miss Bobby, I'm so sorry. I can't hear you. Did you
I
want
know.
to
I'm
say
talking to
whatever you're
Brenda.
gonna say?
Yes. I'm talking to Brenda. Brenda, Erin can't hear me, so she doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about. So, yeah, it never goes away, does it? It actually even gets a little bit stronger and diverts into other things. Maybe actually talk to your dad a little bit more, Brenda, because I think that might be one thing you might want to step up your communications with him. And you might have actually felt the passing a little bit stronger, because you might have been in the room going, I'm right here. Yeah. So I think at 25 years, it'll be a little bit different. Anyway, okay. Sorry, Erin. Okie dokie. What sign does she give you? I don't. Honestly, the first thing I see is a dime. So are you with us now? No, she's still not with us. All
Mhm.
right. Okay. So I'm gonna just take the whole thing, and we're gonna say the goodbye soon. Okie dokie. And next Sunday is the 12th, which is the eve of one of my children's birthdays. So, and I'm a little obsessed with my children. So I may or may not be here, but I believe Erin will be here. And if Erin's not here, we will have a pre recorded video for you guys. And we will make sure you guys know that there's a pre recorded video coming, or if it's just going to be Erin, or if it's going to be Erin and me, we will tell you. Okie dokie. All right. We're going to sign off because Erin can't hear us, anyways. Okay. Are you ready, Erin?
Am I ready? Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, bring your arms up.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.